Welcome to day 2 in Rounditaly. The virtual regatta is on. And guys and girls and skippers around the world, what a development we actually have. The first battle has started. We are entering the Tyrrhenian Sea. But who is doing what and who is winning the battles and which directions are people taking in this fantastic regatta? Let's deep into it. Let's see how this unfolds. But before going into the virtual event, how it's going in the real event. 5 boats set off from Genova to Trieste. Let's go into the tracking. Find more on rounditaly.com. In our last report, we saw that Pendragon was in the lead and quite a speed they had. Let's see what happens. Pendragon here, it looks like they're losing a little bit momentum. Only sailing 6.170 knots per hour. Oof, they are losing momentum. Will they keep the speed and the pace and also break the Rounditaly record? One of the more interesting battles we are looking into is the battle between the virtual world and the real world. Here we have Karnak, class 40 boat. You can see it placed in the middle of the Tyrrhenian Sea, but right now following the real wind in towards the coast of Italy. But see how light the wind is around them. It looks like it's going to be a slow battle, maybe as foreseen, 4 days before they arrive to the Straits of Messina. And let's get ready to join in the fantastic virtual event Rounditaly. 26,211 skippers are ready in this battle. The leading pack of the fleet is also in the middle of the Tyrrhenian Sea, but see they're a little bit more in front of the real regatta. There is also a small slightly difference. In the real world you have the currency and the wind, but here in this regatta you only have the wind to take care of. But the leading pack, let's zoom in. They are here at the moment. Let's zoom into them and see. They are actually placed almost same positions as Karnak, and they are also caught in light wind. Karnak is in a position up here in top of them, where the rest of the pack are here, and that is with the leader Juju 456 from France. But very light wind forecast coming in 2.4, 2.0 kts, so it's a very slow wind they're coming in. But an interesting battle came in here. We have in the opposite side right now, we have this boat. It is your mom, SA from USA, Chris Powers, but he's not in the lead of this Rounditaly, but he's taking a different course. See how the wind is with him at the moment. He is in 7.2 knots and he's trying to take a more curved angle towards the streets of Messina. Let's focus on the battle in between the different boats, different routes, different strategies. Let's see what they're thinking and how they are moving around. Right now we are focused on 3 boats. We are focused on Shockwave from Australia. We are focused on the overall leader Juju 456, and we are focused on the boat we can see taking a slightly different route, Your Mom from USA. So we are watching these red lines you can see here. They are telling us the route. The one here in the left side, that is Your Mom. The 2 others here actually following each other quite well until at this moment is Shockwave, and then we have Juju 456. And right now we can see a small slightly change. We can see the first change we had up here is Your Mom followed the coast of Corsica, where the 2 other boats, Shockwave and Juju, they were trying to go towards the Italian coast. And when we look back in the wind pattern, then we could see that the wind at that moment said there was a very strong wind going in towards the Italian coast, a very light wind at the coastline of Corsica. Then going a little bit downwind, we could see the wind change come in. It came in 7 in the morning. 7 this morning, and then they had to take a slightly change of strategy. They all have to actually they were forced to go in towards the middle. They were on one line together, but the shortest distance was Shockwave and Juju 456 at this moment. Then we can see how they're speeding up Euromom capturing the wind, getting a lot more wind speed into the boat. And when we see right now, Euromom is sailing 4.5 knots per hour, where if we go to the opposite side and just take Juju 456, then he's only at the moment sailing 5.1 knots per hour. It's still a very slow race, it's a light wind race, but the players also told us that.
Honestly, it looks like a very light wind forecast for that entire leg. So I'll be hunting for wind and looking at every update to the wind every time. I won't be going into it with a predetermined strategy.
We're going to have plenty of upwind till we get to Messina Strait.
Well, what happens is that we have to study much more the meteorologic side, because it's always harder to race slow winds, and we have to study very, very much the meteo, and that makes the things more difficult.
Well, if I'm just looking at it initially, even though we're still 2 days out, it looks like it'll be very light winds. Certainly all the way to Messina. Messina will be very light. So we'll definitely would need to be awake at that point. So hopefully it timed well for Australia as us and our team are kind of going through that area.
Let's try to look into the future of the wind. And that way we do that is we're going over to the right hand side. We are taking the hours here. Let's put it on 6 hours and see how everything develops. Oof. It looks it's going to be a hard night or a hard evening for Euromom. Euromom is sailing into a very light wind, but maybe he will change course now and go more straight into the streets of Messina. But see here, going from 6 knots of wind into 3 knots, into 2 knots, where the rest of the fleet here, they are getting a little bit more wind coming from the coast of Italy, but it's also very light, 4, 5, 6 knots per hour. So I think we'll see a small change, of course, from Euromom, where Shockwave and Juju 456 will keep themselves in the middle, almost following the dotted line we have here, but with some small adjustments so they can keep the wind pressure at the highest point. That was the report of day 2. It's 12 midday here in Europe, so let's see how it's unfolding. Right now it looks like, as the sailor said, it's going to take around 4 days to go to the Straits of Messina, and that's the first real battle. Then when we're rounding the heel of Italy, we will speed up, and when we're entering the Adriatic Sea, we'll have another battle coming up. This is Thomas Bjørn doing a live report of Rounditaly, and please go in on Facebook, on Bacolana and Yacht Club Italiano, or their YouTube pages, or the homepage Rounditaly. There you can see a lot more what's happening.